following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself, the known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Hello. Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. Hope everybody's having a great day, and we've got a great show for you guys today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get started, let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hello, everybody. The new rage for men, because most men are bald, and they're all shaving their heads. Well, some clever designers came up with the idea, wigs for men. And these wigs are incredible. You will never, ever, never know they're a wig. They're sheer, they're thin, they slip to the head, they stick to the head, and change hairstyles. So now all the young guys are wearing them because if they want a short haircut or blue hair or green or pink hair, they wear a wig. I think it's a great idea because I cut my hair too short and I hate it. I wish I had one of those wigs. I'd certainly wear it because I miss my wild, big head of hair. But anyway, so guys out there that are bald, it won't be a shame anymore to wear a wig. It's not a toupee, it's a full wig. And it's absolutely stunning. You can find them on Facebook. They're about $35, cheap as hell, and beautiful wigs. So you bald guys, when you're in the mood to have a lot of hair, and some of them are shoulder length hair, like rock and roll hairdos. I mean, really beautiful wigs. And if you want to go to a club one night looking like a really groovy guy, get rid of the bald head, throw on a wig. It's the rage.
So keep talking for a minute.
Why should I keep
I can't
talking?
get it because I can't.
You don't even pay me to be on this show.
I know, but I don't have any Wi-Fi over here on this computer, so I can't see the chat room, and I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, well, for 9 years, I've been on this show, almost 10 years. Not a salary, not a nickel, not a dime, not a sou, not a yen, not a wooden nickel, nothing.
Here we go.
I work for free like some kind of slave.
Here we go. Now I'm in it.
Slave, old man river, that old man river. Yeah, that's what I feel like, a slave, because I work for free. Everybody out there, if you're really nice, you should send me like 10 cents each. If everybody put 10 cents in an envelope and sent it to me, I'd be happy. That would be a payment, wouldn't it?
Okay, here we go.
Those 10 cents could add up to maybe like $1.50, and I can make $1.50 a show.
All right. So we're back.
So chat room. Buttons. What is this sticking out that looks like I have a tumor coming out of my
That's because it's a hoodie.
It looks like a tumor coming out of my neck.
So what's up? We want to say hi. Backpack John is in the chat room. Boomer Maze is in the chat room. Cindy from Lady Lake Music is in the chat room. Hold on. My artist Mrs. Kim is in the chat room. Let's see. Hold on. I got to go back up.
Who else is in the chat room? I heard you couldn't.
Oh, Rocket Pig is in the chat room. Hello.
Wait. Rocket Pig?
Yeah, it's a production company making great movies.
Oh, that's a new one. Rocket Pig. I like that. Last week or 2 weeks
Bill
ago.
is in the chat room. Bill Urukian.
Nobody could get in the chat room. It was filled to the max. So today it looks like it's empty.
Yes.
Oh, there's nobody in the chat room. So now here's your chance.
No, there's people in the chat room. They're all coming in now. We couldn't do it before. I have to get us a new board.
Meanwhile, I have to get information from people out there. Anyone out there who's had cataract surgery, please let me know in the chat room now. Do your eyes burn? Right now, my eyes are burning and I'm squinting. 2 days ago, I had to go to bed and lay down, but close my eyes because I couldn't see. They were burning so badly. I put drops in. I mean, I don't know what it's from or what causes it, but my cataracts are fairly new. So maybe you out there who have had experience with them can tell me what to do and why they burn and are watery.
So
thank you.
Angie Baby is in the chat room. She's under Rocket Pig. and
Angie Baby, get rid of that
and
name.
Dave Hughes.
I don't like Rocket Pig with Angie Baby. She's no pig.
No, but that's the name of the company.
She made a company called Rocket Pig.
Well, Jerry Angelo made a company called Rocket Pig. They're doing great movies.
Yeah, but I don't like that name.
No, it's fabulous. It's a pig on a rocket
No, it should be
space.
it should be Angie Baby naked on a rocket.
Oh,
That would be nice. Everybody would tune in to see that.
she's giving us hugs. So anyway, you guys, we have a really fun show for you guys today. We have music royalty coming on. We have the fabulous Martha Davis from the Motels. You guys remember Only the Lonely, Suddenly Last Summer, all these great, only the big hits. And then we have Scott Page from Pink Floyd coming on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Happy everybody's joining us now in the chat room. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I want to say too, everybody, thanks so much for watching the Sherry Nelson episode. When we had Sherry Nelson, and I don't know who was with Sherry Nelson that day, but that episode got a zillion plays.
What wasn't it? The guy from the rock and roll, the Earth, Wind and Fire?
No, that was last week. Sherry Nelson was 2 weeks ago.
See, I don't remember anything.
And
but I remember what happened 80 years ago. 70, 50, 40, 30 years ago. I can remember details, but I can't remember what happened 6 minutes ago.
Oh, no. Oh, there we are live in there.
What happened?
But anyway, we had a great show that day with Sherry Nelson, and I forgot who was on it with her, but it's gotten, like 5 million plays or something. It's like way up there. So thanks, everybody.
Sherry Nelson happens to be one of the nicest, kindest, most sincere human beings that I've met in a long time. She comes from a town of just 87 people, and they're homegrown. She's like a pumpkin.
Oh, it was Harley and Sherry Nelson.
Oh, Harley. Well, that's why Harley gets a big pull too.
Yeah, they both do.
Yeah,
so
they're both very VIP people. Let's talk about my watch. Is that brought in this chat room?
No, she's not there yet.
Well, screw her. She every week wants to know about my watch. In 2 weeks, she hasn't come into the show.
She was here last week.
She
came
was
in late.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to do it now. This is the last time. If you're not in the showroom next week, screw you. This is a Cartier vintage. Very expensive wristwatch. It's one of my better collection wristwatches. It was given to me by Jimmy Starr. It was his, and he got fat and his wrist didn't fit it. So he said, the wristwatch no longer fits my fat wrist. So here, Ron, I want you to have it. Wasn't that romantic? He said it just like that. Here, my wrist got fat, so you can have this watch. I said, oh, thank you so much.
That's so funny. But it's a beautiful watch.
It's a gorgeous watch, and it's Cartier, darling. Excuse me. Cartier. Anyway.
So we also got B. Claudia just joined us. Hey, B. How you doing?
Busy baby.
And so did somebody else. Kadrosha Ona Karol.
Kadrosha, my darling. What's going on with you with this movie shit? What are you doing that you need my help?
She's so fabulous.
Tell us about it. I'd be more than happy to do whatever I can for you because you're one of my favorite friends that I never see, but I remember so well.
That's right. We love Kadrosha. She's fabulous. And they said they love my glasses.
Oh, they love your glasses. They love anything. They're full of shit. They love everything.
Oh, Teresa Sabin. Was that Teresa? Oh, no, that's B. Claudia. Teresa Sabin is running late. She says she loves you, though. And Backpack John is in there. I don't know if I said hello to Backpack John. And he learned so many things. He's the one who learned Glory Hole from our show.
Oh, we have more to teach you. We're an educational show. We should be taught in schools. Actually, the kids in schools can teach us.
And they like your shirt.
They like my shirt. Yeah, I'm going sailing in a few minutes in the desert. My sailboat's in the sand waiting for me. The weather's gorgeous here. Absolutely stunningly beautiful.
It's like 50 at night, you guys.
Yes, and we had to cancel some friends for our Thanksgiving dinner.
I haven't done that yet, so you shouldn't talk
about it. Well, I have to talk about it now that I said it. Unfortunately, some of our friends became very frightened of the idea of all of us being together at a dining room table. So they said they will pass on it this year, therefore causing us to cancel our Thanksgiving Day dinner. We will only do it with our daughters, and they've been tested and we've been tested, so we're okay. This virus really has got to go. I hope the vaccines work because we need to go back to living the way we used to live. I mean, even like, stick-up men, hold up, bank robbers, they want to go back to robbing banks. They're afraid to break into a bank because they may get the virus from one of the guards or the customers. So everybody needs to go back to who they were and what they wanted to do. I'm devastated because we've always had guests for Thanksgiving, and now Christmas is coming, and we always have a huge Christmas party the Saturday night before Christmas. And I don't think we're going to.
Yeah, we're not going to be having that.
Unless, of course, the vaccine is out and everybody shoots up with the vaccine or gets tested, because it's on the rise in the Coachella Valley. I spoke with my doctor the other day about some things I needed to get done. And he said to me, do not come near this hospital. That's Eisenhower Hospital. He said, we are full of the coronavirus. And I thought, oh my God, why is that? It seems that people are coming into Eisenhower Hospital from the surrounding areas like Riverside and we're Riverside, the other side, whatever. All the towns that surround us, I guess, don't have hospitals as good as Eisenhower. So now they're coming in from all over.
I got the numbers, actually. 2 weeks ago, they only had 1 case of coronavirus, and now they have 31 cases. So in 1 week, 30 cases of coronavirus.
I know, and it's coming in like crazy. So all of these people that are coming in from surrounding towns, you're actually taking beds away from the people who live in the Coachella Valley and who pay taxes and who support those hospitals. Go to your own hospitals. Tell your doctors it's okay. You know, doctors are doctors. They're all the same all over the world. They all learn the same stuff, and they all know the same thing now about the coronavirus. There's no doctor one better than another. So stay in your valleys, like the what's that valley we go shopping in? That lovely Moreno. Yeah, stay in the Moreno Valley. Don't come to Coachella Valley. We can't accommodate you. Our hospitals are going to be filled, and you're bringing the virus into a valley that was in good shape. We did not have too many cases. We had a few cases, and they came in from Los Angeles.
So anyway, keep going.
Let me keep going. So please, I beg you, do not come into our valley and give us the flu, the virus, because it's murder. Stay in your own valleys. Go to your own hospitals. Eisenhower is not a hospital for the entire country. It's a hospital that was built by Bob Hope and a lot of other celebrities, Frank Sinatra, and they built this hospital for the people who live in Coachella Valley, not just Palm Springs, where all the rich, fancy, schmancy people live, but for the poor people that live in other neighborhoods. Okay?
So anyway, Angela says there's no corona. Everything is good with Rocket Pig because there's no coronavirus in space. And I want to welcome Rob Saw to the show, and he's tuned in, I know, for Martha Davis because that's one of his favorite artists. So we're going to actually bring her in now. She's in the green room from what I understand. So Rebel, let her in.
I hear them dancing, the silhouettes on the shade. I hear the music.
Hello.
Hi, boys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You know, you're interrupting.
I'm well, thank you. You know,
the two of you, I'm going to smack the both of you. You just interrupted my song.
That's okay. That's because when now we have a guest on.
I don't care.
I'm
going to kiss her today.
No. Stay right where you are.
I'm going to grab you and kiss you to death.
Hi, Martha. How are you? Welcome back to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Hey, Marty.
How are you guys?
How are you? How are you, my little chickadee?
Last time, now it's so cool because this time you're in a house. Last time you were walking around. I don't know. They were like llamas or
alpacas.
Yes,
my alpacas. Yes.
Alpacas make a beautiful coat.
She has a beautiful
coat.
When you shear them. So, how have you been, Toots?
I've been good. I've been working. I mean, now that we're all home, and I have to admit, you know, the coronavirus, as evil as that thing is, I have loved being home all year and seeing the seasons change. I'm usually in an airport every week, and so this has been very nice, and I've been doing a lot of things. I've put out new records. I've got a new single coming out tomorrow. I put out one a month. From another project. I'm working on a TV show. I've got a kid.
Hold on. You're going too fast. We're going to go over all those.
We're going to do it one by one.
We're going to do them. First of all, we have a chat room full of people. So say hi to everybody in the chat room because there's a bunch of countries represented.
Hi, everybody. Hello around the world.
There you go. And then
wait a minute. You're looking good. Did you have work done? You're really looking good. You look.
Now putting on piles of makeup, which the farm never sees me. All my animals are like,
you look younger now than when we had you on the last. Swear to God, you didn't have.
And that was like
you didn't have a little work done.
No, I barely go to the doctor ever. Yeah, I don't know. You
no
know,
Botox, no Restylane.
nothing. No
You
Botox.
re- Then you must have a good lover in your
Last
life because you're
No,
looking
no,
good. Sister.
Well, I have men in my life because I have roommates that are male. I have 2 bass players and a 9-year-old boy now. But I
You're
don't have
looking
any
good.
lovers in my life. Maybe
You're
that's why.
looking. You're really
I love
looking.
it.
You're looking really good.
So do me a favor. We have somebody in the chat room, and like he's been sending me messages on Facebook. He's a music promoter, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Martha Davis, she's so fabulous." His name is Rob. Just say hi to Rob for me, so he can like get it out
Hi,
of his
Rob.
system.
How you doing?
There you go. We really have a good we have a great chat room. We always have great, people in it, and everybody loves your music. And so for everybody who doesn't know, in case you don't know who Martha Davis is, she's from with the Motels, Only the Lonely, Suddenly Last Summer, Cries and Whispers, Take the L, I don't know, all the greatest songs ever. And she's also a great solo artist, which I have to tell you, I have been streaming your new album on Spotify all week because I knew you were coming on. The name of the new album is I Have My Standards, and it's like jazz standards, which I didn't know any of the songs, so I don't know what they're from.
I did. And let me tell you folks out there, if you dig jazz, you're going to dig her.
Well, it's called I Have My Standards because they're not standards. I wrote them all.
Oh, that's why I didn't know what they were. Okay, good.
No, wait a minute. There's a couple on there that I'm familiar with.
You just heard them on here if they're hers.
What?
They're all originals, so where would you have heard them? You just thought you heard them.
Well,
No.
There's one, Mr. Gray that's been around for a long time. I wrote it when I was 19, and it's sort of come out in various forms, like in demo form. So you might have heard that,
Because I listen to everything. I'm a jazz freak. I sing jazz. When I worked in clubs, I was a jazz singer. And I love it. And your album is great.
I have to tell you, I was so excited because first of all, I'm very excited that you told me that they're all originals because I was Googling it. Where did these songs come from? Wait, let me finish. I was Googling where all the songs came from and everything. And I was like, I couldn't find anything anywhere. And Mr. Gray, I've known because like you've performed it for like a long time. But I was like, I know every standard. Like I listen to all of them and I don't know any of these. So I'm so glad you said that. And number one, I have to tell you, Mr. Gray and How Long the Train's Been Gone are like the greatest songs ever.
Oh, thank you.
And those songs have been around.
No,
I'm sure.
She just recorded it just now for the first time.
You know what? I'm getting senile. I'm becoming. No,
They've been around because basically this album was written because when I write, my muse just drag me wherever they want to drag me, whether it's country or western, which I will put out an album of that at some point, or jazz or whatever. And so what I did was just compiled all these songs, and they are on my new record label too, which is Remarkable Records. And so I started my own label. I only put out vinyl, and so it's a chance for me to get all of these songs that have been sitting in my closet forever. And I have more jazz songs, and I'm going to put out another album. This one, I just wanted to, for the first time, have one album that just has one mood. It's just sort of the low key, and there's no up tempo songs on it. But I got up tempo songs that are going to come down path in the jazz sort of fashion. So
I love it. I'm not kidding you.
Who's your favorite jazz singer of the 1940s and 50s?
You shouldn't have put a date. You should.
No, it's an easy question because it's Peggy Lee.
That's true.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
no
But
one's
I think a little earlier, I think Billie Holiday is like probably,
I don't think Billie really was in jazz. I considered Billie. Ella Fitzgerald was jazz.
Yeah.
Billie was more of a stylist. She had nobody could be Billie. I mean, she just was in a class of her own.
The chat room is writing Billie Holidays, just so you guys know.
Just in a class of her own. Peggy Lee sang. She never sang with the music. I think she sang either behind it or ahead of it, which was incredible. Yeah. And she had the best voice for jazz because she was soft jazz. Ella could, yeah, Ella was the best. Ella was the best. Ella Fitzgerald we're talking about.
They're writing Nina Simone. They like.
Nina
Oh,
Nina
yeah.
really wasn't jazz. Nina was more of a she had a little bit of jazz. Nina was more of a storyteller, I say, when she sang, because all of her songs were sad and bitter and had meaning and it was different. Jazz to me is upbeat, fast and quick and like who we got coming on now. You know, Scott Page played for Pink Floyd, and when we're in private, I tell Scott, play some good jazz for me. And baby,
He's a saxophone
he goes
player.
into Harlem Nocturne.
I love
And
Harlem Nocturne.
And
Oh,
but when Scott Page does it with his sax, he blows my mind, because when he hits those down notes, my vocals have a nervous breakdown. I want to kill myself. He's wonderful. No, really, Harlem Nocturne on a sax soloist
I know.
is
Gorgeous.
incredible.
Okay, so Martha, I need you to do me one more favor. We have a lady in the chat, and she's from Germany. She's one of our biggest fans / friends. She's one of the coolest ladies on planet Earth, really is. Her name is B. Claudia. Just say hi to B. Claudia, because she's jealous now that Rob got it and she didn't.
Hey, Claudia, love you.
There you
I
go.
live in Germany.
B. Claudia is one of our best people, and guess what? She does the most for the people that come on our show. She will promote you now.
She'll promote it all over the place.
She will get your album, and she will listen, and she will promote it. B. Claudia is incredibly fabulous. I wanted to ask you a question, but I forgot because I'm 80 now, and I'm senile.
I'm not 80. Oh, stop it.
I'm 80. You know, I wrote an article on Facebook about when I used to drive over the 59th Street Bridge, how I love the smell of Wonder Bread being baked. Well, it wasn't Wonder Bread, it was Silver Cup. So, you know, that's what's happening. I'm starting to replace things I forget with fantasy. And it happens at this age. So I did hear your music. I don't care what you or Jimmy said.
Well, Mr. Gray, first of all,
I've heard it. I know it. I know when you played it,
Mr.
Jimmy.
Gray is fabulous, and she did a brand new video, you guys. It actually today, which I didn't send it to you, but I have a friend who runs a website called TRV Countdown. It's top requested video countdown of the day, and every day they put up a new video of a video maybe nobody's ever seen, and it's the video of the day today. So go to trvcountdown.com and check it out. It's a really popular website. And it's the video of the day because I submitted it to them and asked them if it would make the video of the day. I submitted it like a week ago, but it came out today on there. So you should check that out. And the song is fabulous.
When did you put Mr. Gray out?
Let's see. It's hard to know because this year has been like a week of years, as my friend Lisa Brennis would say. I have lost track of time. It came out, I believe, the beginning of this year. The album was released, and then my dear friends Teresa and Fred Decker did the video. We all shot it because we'd already been COVIDed. Yeah, so it was this year. My last gig was on March 11th, I believe, and it was on a cruise ship, fellows, a cruise ship, March 11th. So the coronavirus had started. We got off the boat, ran like hell, and went home, never to go back and dig again. But that gave me time to actually put this together. We made the video at our various homes, and Fred and Teresa compiled it, and it's a beautiful video, and it's a
beautiful.
Video. So
are they playing your song anywhere in the Palm Springs area? Because my jazz station, it comes from, I think, maybe San Francisco. I'm not sure exactly what the call letters are now. I don't remember. But they play jazz that's not everybody's jazz. It's all interesting stuff. That's why I like it. A lot of it's too way out for me. It's too, science fiction.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
You like the science fiction jazz? I don't understand it. But anyway, I'm old. But I like your kind of music because I understand it. It's jazz.
And it's beautiful.
It's pure jazz. It's
really beautiful. Everybody needs.
No, it's really good. It's really good.
It's songs. They're songs in the sense of just, melody and lyrics, and they work together, and it's just old-fashioned songwriting and nothing more, and it's the genres of music, is it jazz? It's more jazz than it is rock, it's more.
Oh, yeah. I want to pass something on to you. Lauren Bacall, who I knew, said to me, a movie is only old after you've seen it. Now I'm going to say to you, your music is only old after you've heard it. But if you've never heard it before, it's new music.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would suggest that everybody out there get her album, sit back, have a glass of wine, put the fireplace on, leave the room dim, and just flow. Go with her music, and she'll take you to places that you have never been before.
It's so you
It's
guys.
true. It's true, honey.
The name of the album.
I don't say it if I don't believe it.
You guys, you can find it. The name of the album is "I Have My Standards." I've been listening to it on Spotify. It's
And we play it in the
11
house.
songs, right? I think there's 11 songs.
Jimmy, that's why I heard it, because we've been playing it.
I've been playing it in the house.
office.
Well, I've been playing it, all week. So
I know that. That's where I fucking. Oh, excuse my French. That's where I heard
yes,
it.
I've been playing it every day for hours. So
See that? Now I know where.
so
I
you
heard
guys, there's 11 songs on it. I'm going to tell you what there's Mr. Moon, Midnight Nightingale, Picture Perfect, Call Me, Love's Never What It Seems, The Long Goodbye, I Don't Care, Mr. Gray, How Long's the Train Been Gone, Don't Take
That's
These
a good one.
Tears, and
How Long the Train's
Childhood's
Been Gone.
Ends, and Mr. Gray and How Long's the Train Been Gone. Those are my two favorites
Yeah.
of the 11.
And Train is my favorite. Now listen, I'm so
You guys are
sorry.
so sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
No, we don't lie. If we thought your music sucked,
we wouldn't say anything.
No, no. Here's what I do. If a rapper comes on that does some disgusting rap that I despise, because I hate rap music, and I'm not allowed to say I hate your music because it offends the artist. But I give my opinion. I say, look, I'm 80 years old. I love Johnny Mathis. I hate rap. So people understand I'm an old man. I'm senile, and I like the olden days. But I'm only sorry that we are not allowed to play your music because they took us off the air for doing that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would be playing Train right now.
Oh.
Yeah, here's what it is with all these new platforms, everybody's streaming live. So we stream live to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're streaming live to like 5 platforms right now because we don't have the rights. YouTube shuts us down. We had John B on, who's like a multi-platinum R&B artist, and in the middle of his video, our whole thing got shut down and we like lost communication with everybody watching because we're not allowed to play him anymore. So now we tell everybody they got to go play it. So go to Spotify, you guys. The album is I Have My Standards. Play the album. Go to YouTube and actually go to trvcountdown.com because the video of the day today is Mr. Gray. It's a great video shot during COVID. It's fabulous. And the last time we had you on, because we live in Palm Springs now, the last time we were in the woods in Pennsylvania talking to you, and this time we're in Palm Springs, which I like much better because it's a little warmer.
And no ticks.
And there's no ticks, yeah.
No, don't get live disease.
So
I want you to know that I sent Johnny Mathis a note a while ago, and I said, Johnny, I know you want to come on our show. He's never said that. I just wrote that in the note in case. I said, I know you're dying, because I know Johnny. I said, I know you're dying to do our show, but since we can't play your music, I'm not going to ask you to come on.
Oh,
And
I had an interview where we passed each other in the hallway. That guy still looks good.
yes.
He is the sweetest, the kindest, the most gentle, the most unassuming, adorable, loving man I have ever met. And I've met Johnny. I went shopping with him in a supermarket, and he's a lovely fella. And nobody knew who he was in the supermarket. No, he went unrecognized in the supermarket. Imagine Johnny Mathis.
He's always slayed me. His voice is amazing.
Oh, I love him. He's the ultimate male ballad singer ever. Better than Sinatra or Tony Bennett. Much better.
Wow.
So okay, so then I have first of all, everybody be Claudia, because now that you said hi to her, she's like out tweeting away about your album and all kinds of things. So you guys, if you want to follow Martha, she's at the Motels on Twitter, and on Instagram you can do Martha Davis Projects on Instagram, which is really cool. And she said that your album has 5-star reviews on all 5-star reviews on Amazon, which is really good.
It is a good album. It's a good album. Now listen, what song did you do that got the most of everything? What would you say is your number one hitteroo?
It's weird. Between Suddenly Last Summer and Only the Lonely, it's kind of like, it's weird because I think Only the Lonely has gotten more plays, but Suddenly Last Summer seems more popular. Does that make sense?
I agree with that.
I agree with that also.
I listened to Sunday Last Summer like 10 times this morning.
No, I totally agree with that. Only the Lonely It's a heavy duty song. It's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Also,
if
you
it makes
guys,
any sense.
you guys can also find out more information by going to themotels.com, www.themotels.com. Do you have is there a Martha Davis site, or do you do everything through the motel site?
There's the motel site, there's a Martha Davis site, and there's a Remarkable Records for my new record company site. And it's really funny. Those are all Facebooks, and it's really funny because I don't know if this has happened to anyone else. Franny is Franny. She's my girl, and she's my manager. She takes care of everything. She runs all the social and does a great job. I have been, even though she's an admin on my account, somehow I've been locked the hell out of Facebook.
Isn't that
If
funny?
you send me a link on Facebook, I can't open it. And you can't talk to any humans nowadays. I can't call Mr. Facebook.
I know.
And say, hey,
I
why
hate
you lock
that.
me out? I haven't said any. I didn't do any fake news or any. So
I get locked.
But,
I get locked out of Twitter all the time. And by the way, let's say hi to Fran, because Fran is freaking awesome. She is super awesome.
It's Franny's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Fran!
Happy
She's fabulous.
birthday to you.
So let me ask you a question. So Fran sent me this thing, and it had some bullet point things of some of the things that you started talking about at the beginning. One is she wrote Hollywood Music and Media Awards, music nomination, Mr. Gray and Phineas. How are you attached to Phineas?
To Phineas?
Yeah.
Well, Phineas is another one of my little creations, and Phineas, I've written a couple of kids albums, and Phineas T. Rabbit is I did an album that semi came out. It was before I knew what I was doing, and it was 24 songs for parents and children, because I know how frustrated parents can be with banal children's music. So I wanted to, it started back in the Barney days, when you just have these and when you have kids, they would play them over and over and over. And so if the songs are horrible, you go insane. So I made some songs that would be palatable for adults as well, with puns and with funny lyrics and with, but kids don't need to have stuff dumbed down for them. Kids love, when I was a kid, it was Christopher Robin and stuff like Christopher Robin had wheezes and sneezes and bundled him into his bed and gave him what goes with a cold in the nose and some more for a cold in the head. Beautiful, wonderful rhymes, that were clever, and they weren't easy, but kids can do it, so I wrote these songs, and then I went on to write stories for all the songs.
So is the book, I heard there's a book, is the book out?
It's not, but these are some of the illustrations that my dear friend Alicia has done.
Nice illustration.
Aren't they beautiful? So Phineas
Yeah.
T. Rabbit is this little bunny rabbit that
Who did the illustration?
Her name is Alicia Justice, and she's incredible.
She's fabulous.
And she's
Because we might be looking for an illustrator for a cover for a movie Jimmy's producing.
Oh, really?
We need to interview a lot of people for the poster.
Actually, in the chat room, so Ron's writing a movie, also his own movie, and in there they're saying that you guys should do a duet for the soundtrack.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy can't sing.
No, you should do it. Not me.
I sing. Jimmy doesn't.
I don't sing.
Now listen, I wanted to tell you. You talked about when you were young. When I was young, you know who was the big stars? The Ink Spots. If I didn't care for you. I mean,
Do you know who the Ink Spots are?
Sure,
No Brothers?
classic music. Of course, everybody knows the Ink Spot.
I could call my own.
Right. They
Fellows couldn't see it.
they took jazz and brought it to ballad. Then, of course, Mary Wells took over when she was with what's his name? Our friend, the guy that ran. Oh my God, I'm getting senile. Help me, please. Send money. No, Diana Ross's lover, the guy that knocked her up. What was his name? The guy at the head of my favorite. Oh, I can't go on anymore. This
The thing that we watched the documentary on?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, he's
And
another
I
one.
don't know, so I'm no
Well,
help.
you know what, Martha? How we are the #1 show in the world, I will never ever know. I mean, it
Adorable,
amazes.
that's
No,
why.
no, really, it amazes me that we are so out there with everybody. We don't know our asses from our elbow.
It was in Detroit.
Gordy, I'm talking
Gordy,
about
Barry Gordy.
Barry Gordy, I'm talking about. My God.
Can I stop you right here? Because I just
Sure.
have to say that your glasses and your outfits right now are so perfect because Jimmy, you've got the light pink ones while you've got the pink sweatshirt and you've got the black ones. I just think it's a fashion statement. I love it.
Thank
No,
you. They love it in the chat room too.
I just had cataract surgery on both my eyes, and the lights in the studio make them burn and water. So I find if I put glasses on, for some reason, it diffuses it or whatever. But that's the reason for the glasses.
Because he doesn't normally like to wear
I don't wear glasses. You know, at my age, 23, we don't wear glasses. When I get to be 80, I might. But listen to me. Let's get back to your music. I'm going to ask you a question. I really shouldn't ask you this question because it could get you in trouble. But I'm going to ask you because I want to know, what do you think of rap? I mean,
I really like, and there's some more. I mean, it's like anything else. If it is true, if it is honest, if it's real, and not just jumping on some bandwagon because you think you can make $1 off it. If you are a poet that is telling a story about your experience, and that's what, you know, when rap started, this was explaining a situation in an inner city that nobody outside of it, you know, could feel that way, you know, and these stories that came out of that were, first of all, they gave obviously a release to the artist because that's what art does, but they also sort of ignited an interest in the thing. In other words, once again, art does something and moves something forward. Now there's 9,000 kids out there that, you know, that and they're rapping in the valley, talking like, you know, it's like it's been very appropriated and it's been, you know, kind of mishandled, but that's the way the business treats all art. I mean, you'll have a great artist.
Martha, what I don't understand is, how do they call it singing? They're speaking, they're not singing. So I think it should go under a different category. Rap should be,
that's why rap,
the talking song, because they do not sing. Singing is what Johnny Mathis did in Peggy Lee, and all the other great performers, they sing. They have notes.
Martha.
And Martha, you know, we know how to hold a note. We know how to do it. But these people are just talking like they're on speed.
I love it.
It's much more like a poetic sort of delivery than it is a lyrical, and that starts from the basis that there's no chord progressions. You have basically a beat and a very, you don't have a lot of chords, so you're not going to have any melody. There's not even a chance for it. I mean, to me, the thing that's more disturbing is that the songs that we have with the singers that are all tuned, and, you know, it's like they may be hitting different notes and doing a melody and singing per se, but it's like so manipulated by electronics that is it really singing? I don't know.
No, I have difficulty because I remember Doris Day, que sera, sera, you know, that sort of ear mentality. And then now, it, you know, living old like me is not necessarily a happy thing, because the changes that are happening in my life are not fun things anymore. People don't dine properly on the dining room table with good china and crystal and have dinner parties. Now they eat off a Melmac out on a bench in a park or something like that. People don't dress as they did in my day, where we looked always perfect and beautiful. Nowadays they look like they just cleaned the garbage pails out in the alley. I mean, people have lost so much of what we had. I only wish they knew what we had so they could bring it back. Wait, not finished. And I'm getting to the point. Jazz. People think of as, oh, that's old music. Nobody listens. My mother listened to that. Bullshit. Listen to jazz. Get hooked. It's the best.
There's absolute room for all of it. And you know what? You'd be surprised how many young people that go around just like looking like they just cleaned out the trash cans would love to put on a gown and heels and go to a swanky place. I think that exists in all of us. I don't think it's lost. I think we don't have the venues that supply it. I had this idea at one point that I wanted to open up a beautiful like dinner theater where or you did. You became like,
That would be fabulous.
Oh, I wish. Do you
where you
remember?
wore gowns and you danced like Fred Astaire and you did all that stuff. You know, but
Wonderful.
people would love that.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember Basin Street in New York? You don't remember? Oh God, you weren't around in the Basin Street.
Time in New York.
That was before your time, Basin. I mean, you should. Oh my God, Peggy Lee singing at Basin Street. I was there opening night.
Oh,
Somebody spoke while Peggy was singing. Peggy stopped, and she looked at that person and she said, "Would you like to come up here and sing?" And the person said, "No." She said, "Well, then sit still and listen to me. You're being rude." And the audience sat there and she was a star. She could do that. How dare you interrupt Peggy Lee singing a wonderful, and the song I remember too was great jazz song. What the hell? My mind's gone. But anyway, the lyrics were wonderful.
So hang on, go back to you. Okay.
And it was a beautiful piece that this bitch was talking, and she was going a mile a minute with her boyfriend. Like, how rude. Peggy straightened her out. A lot of performers did that in the day. So did Patti LaBelle.
Actually, I was at a 10,000 Maniacs concert and Manly Merchant did that too.
Patti LaBelle was singing, and a guy jumped on her stage, pulled down his pants, and mooned the audience while Patti LaBelle was singing. So Patti LaBelle said, "You son of a bitch, get off my stage before I kick you in that ass." And the guy jumped off the stage. I love Patti LaBelle.
So
have you ever had anything happen to you like that in your career?
On stage, like weird stuff. I'm pretty easygoing. I sort of take the onus on me to like shut everybody up just by. What happens is if I find somebody that's not paying attention, I will pick on them. In other words, I'll go over and sing to them. And the funny thing, the first album had that song Celia on it.
Yep.
And it had that crazy line, "He isn't going to kill you, he's just going to fuck up your pretty face." I was one of the first to drop the F-bomb, so rappers back off, But when I do that line, oftentimes I'll be in the audience and I'll just sort of like pretend I'm looking over here, and then I'll drop down and look at somebody and scream that line in their face, and scare the shit out of them. And this
I love it.
One gal who couldn't be bothered and was on her phone and blah 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 blah, and I snuck up behind her and just did that to her and she almost dropped her phone. I did it to another gal that stood up like she was gonna deck me, and that was a little frightening because she was a good gal. But yeah, I mean, I tend to, like, if it looks like I'm not getting respect, I'll just sort of work on it a little bit.
I love that. I was actually in Sunrise, Florida at a 10,000 Maniacs concert, and the people in the front were like not paying attention, and they were like throwing stuff around and stuff. And she literally, and I love Natalie Merchant, she literally like stopped the concert like dead in the middle of the whole thing, and just stopped in the middle of the song and like was screaming at the people and told them that she wasn't going to play again until they stopped. And everything was silent for like 5 minutes, and then she played again. And I kind of thought it was kind of cool because
now the better story is Lainey Kazan. You know who Lainey Kazan is, right? A dear best friend of mine for 100 years. I went to see Lainey perform in a auditorium, and in the middle of her show, she didn't care for the left speaker. It wasn't working quite right. So in the middle of her song, she stopped and she said, "Left speaker up." And then she continued singing. So after in the green room, I said, "Lainey, you got some balls to do that." She said, "Well, Ron, it was throwing me off. The speaker was not correct. I didn't want to fuck up my song." So I said, "Lainey, only you." And I've heard she does that all the time now. It became a signature of hers. Just stop in the middle of a song and correct the audio.
I love it.
Yeah.
So
would you do that?
No. I once we get started, if my monitors suck, I don't care. I let the force be with me and just go, because the one thing that I hate more than the inconvenience of a bad monitor is stopping the show. I just, once it gets going, it's like, it doesn't matter what. There was a time, okay, you'll love the story. I was playing one of those outdoor sheds, one of those Niederlander places. It was a big, beautiful outdoor place. And I'm singing, and I'm like, I don't know what song it was, like, and a big moth,
went in your mouth. I
Now
fear
you
that
have two
always.
choices here, right? You can stop and gag and cough the moth out, or you can
Swallow it and sing. No, I fear that with flies. But Lainey did it in such a way where she used her ethnic background. Like she said something like, I am dying. That's sort of Barbara Streisand is, I'm dying. That speaker's not right. So it became very humorous and the audience loved it.
So you
She did
swallowed
shtick,
it?
exactly.
Wait,
did
you
shtick.
swallowed? So you swallowed it or you spit it out?
No, she swallowed
I
it.
swallowed it.
You are
I
a
swallowed it all
trooper.
the way down.
What would you
More
do?
power to you. I don't know what I would do because I've never had it happen, but
I
the
fear
thought of
that.
it though doesn't sound.
I didn't really miss a beat. I kind of like and just kept singing.
No, we did a show in Florida with Cheetah Rivera, and Cheetah was on, I believe, after me or before me. I forgot which one it was. I think she was on after me.
Doesn't matter when.
Well, we had a lot of bees flying around because this guy had some kind of a bush that bees liked. And before the show went on at rehearsal, we were squatting away the bees. And I said to them, could you do anything with these friggin' bees? I don't want one, God forbid, in my mouth. Well, after I went off, I passed Cheetah. I said, Cheetah, go on the show and be careful of the bees. And she said, well, what note are those? What note? Bees? What bee? And she thought I was talking about a note. And I said, no, not a note. Bees. Bzzz. And she started. I love Cheetah Rivera. Anyway, she's got a wonderful. Did you know Cheetah? Ever meet her?
No. You're talking about all these people that I love and admire, but I've never really met. I mean,
well, you had to be a New Yorker because we were all in that little city and we all knew each other.
So I want to move
let me
into
just get back to Cheetah. Cheetah Rivera is still up and running. She's still sensational, and I love her to pieces. She's a wonderful performer and a dear person.
So let's go back to who you
and
have.
She loves gay men. She loves gay people.
As the Motels, like, because you guys have played with everybody. Like, is there a band that you guys got to play with that you're like, oh my God, what a great experience that we got to do something with this like band? Number one, and number two, on like a bucket list, is there any band that you always wish you could have like played with, performed with that you didn't get to? Do you have like a bucket list of, oh my God, I would have loved to play with, blank?
I would have wanted to open for David Bowie more than anything in the world. He was my idol. I love him.
I love
Great pick.
I love David Bowie also.
That's a good pick. Okay.
He's my favorite as well.
I never even got to meet him, and which he was on Capitol when I was on Capitol. They said, "Oh, don't worry, you'll meet him." I mean, I wrote songs. I played with Earl Slick, and Earl and I wrote a bunch of songs together, which I think I might do put out on a record for our.
That would be cool.
Collaborations, but yeah, he was the one that I would have given anything to open for.
David Bowie didn't.
Hang on, let her finish.
I love. Oh my God! We've been doing a lot of these little tours. The last tour we were on was a Live Nation tour, and there's something about these smaller bands that I never got to play with in the day that we've been. We were hanging out. We're on tour together. We're older, which makes it a lot better because when you're young, you're so egotistical and insane that you don't. It's always competition. Now, as older bands, and older people, it's just fun and we're hilarious and we laugh at each other and at ourselves, and the camaraderie of that kind of little tour is there's something so sweet about it. It's I think it's better than the heyday big arena shows and that crazy. I've never been a big arena person because I just feel like that they're built for sports and that's what they should do. I love a more intimate setting,
So who are some of the bands that you've done on like some of those retro tours then? What are some of the bands you've played with?
Well, we did let's see. Oh my God, I have to think of them because there's so many of them. From the Bow Wow Wows to the When in Rome's, and there's two versions of each of those bands. So there's like I have to give props to both versions, and then there's oh my God, I'm trying to think of
See, it's contagious. Trust me, it's
I'm turning
contagious.
70 on my next birthday.
It's funny because I have a friend, Will Crutzen, and he's like a guitarist in one of the Bow Wow Wows, and actually he's part of the Soho Johnny Let Me Help benefit concert that you're a part of also, that takes
Right.
place on Tuesday night, and he actually did something for us for that also.
Right.
And you're in it too, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody, you go to iConcert.tv on Tuesday from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time, and you're going to see Martha's part of the show and a whole lot of really big people. So I want to get that in real quick. And then when we were talking to you before, you said you're working on a TV show. Are you allowed to tell us anything about it?
Pretty exciting. I don't know how much I'm supposed to tell about it. It's a wild, it started out, I have a dear friend named Bob Getter who played upright bass on Just Might Change My Mind, which was on the All for One album back in the day, you know. And then he moved to France, and he lived in France for years, and I hadn't seen him in like 20 years, something like that. And he showed up at one of my shows, and we started writing back and forth, calling each other. And then he started sending me songs, and I said, we should write a musical. And then we started going back and forth on this idea. And the next thing you know, it was, I think this is a TV show. And basically what it was us giving homage to African American music in this country. Because there would not be any jazz, any rock, any of these things without the history of African American music in this country.
Absolutely.
I want to interrupt you. Have you seen the documentary about Motown and how it started? It is
I haven't, but
probably
it's on my list.
Oh, you've got to watch it. It's incredible. It's so interesting and fascinating to see what Black culture music did for the world.
It's on Netflix. We watched it about 2 weeks ago. It was fabulous.
Wonderful documentary. I loved it. I suggest everyone out there listening, watch it. You'll learn from it.
I know. I have to. It's on my list. It truly is. And
It's called.
Like if you listen to the jazz album, if you listen to I Have My Standards album, and you like the train song, that is like so much of that old sort of beautiful blues and stuff. I mean, when I was a little girl, I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old. And I was taught my first 3 guitar chords by a young African American student that was going to Cal Berkeley that my father hired to babysit for us. And his name was Felton Henderson. And my dad had a little parlor guitar, and Felton taught me my first 3 chords. Felton Henderson was one of 2 African Americans. This was in the 60s, like early 60s, like early. And he was one of 2 African Americans going to Cal Berkeley as an African American student in the law department. And apparently, I think he said only one was allowed to graduate, or only one did graduate, and it was him. So when he graduated and quit being my babysitter, his first job was working for Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, that's cool.
He was one of the first African Americans to work in the civil rights actual government department. He knew Martin Luther King, he knew Malcolm X, he knew everybody. And I still talk to him, and I still love him, and he's still, I'm like, he's my guitar teacher. And the first song he taught me was "Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley," which was hilarious. And but
now I noticed that you say African Americans. I once referred to somebody to being a African American, and he said, "No, Ron." He said, "I'm a Black American." He said, "I did not come from Africa. I came from Alabama. So did my mother, my father, my grandmother, my great-grandmother." He said, "I'm more American than most white people are." And I felt so bad. And I said, "You know something? You're right. We think that just because you're Black, you come from Africa. No, darling. You're an American, probably third generation.
Absolutely. You're
And
absolutely
you should be called a Black American." That's a wonderful thing to say.
Okay,
I feel.
American, you're absolutely right. But he, Felton, when he taught me my first chords, the first songs that I ever sang when I was 8 years old, the songs I was drawn to were spirituals. "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," those kind of songs. They were the first songs I ever performed. They to me are some of the most beautiful music. And so my whole life I've been moved by this music that has been this gift by people that have been so, I mean, I've been working on this show with my friend now for 6 years, and I have studied so much history.
It's
And
probably going to be a great show. We have a very dear friend of ours, and she's CC Pennington, who did Finally, right? And she's a darling, darling, dear friend of ours. And she said something on our show when we interviewed her. She said, Black music belongs to everyone. And I so agree with that. I so agree with that. Music does not have a denomination of any kind. Music is international. It belongs to everybody's ears. Either you like the music or you don't. But where it came from and who's performing it should not be judged. I remember being young, and I would walk with my portable radio on my shoulder in Brooklyn. And people would be sitting outside, and they'd say, "Get those, you know what's off the radio," because they were black singers. I was listening to Motown, and I turned around one day to a group of them, and I said, "Isn't it funny that you love their music, and yet you hate them? How does that play?" And they said, "Oh, get the F out of here before we, whatever." So I thought to myself, ignoramus is ignorant culture. What are you going to do? And so I moved to New York, Manhattan, where you could play African or Black American music and not get yelled at for playing it. This is back in the early '60s.
Well, Harlem was the start of so much wonderful art and music and everything.
I mean, name them.
Yes.
Name them. Yeah. The list goes on and on and on and on. There's no end to the list in every category of music, from ballad to jazz to rock they're out there. They're wonderful voices and creators of some of the finest music ever.
Absolutely.
I'm a great fan.
And great, classical composers. And I mean, I have learned so much. I've learned about. Okay, I have a question for you.
Good.
Ron, do you know? Have you ever heard of an artist by the name of Maurice Rocco?
Let me go through my brain for a minute. Maurice what?
Maurice Rocco.
Rocco? R-O-C-C-O?
R-O-C-C-O.
That's my name, Rocco, my middle name. Maurice Rocco. No, I don't remember.
This is so weird because in my studying and my research on this show, I have been, looking at all these different artists, and there's this guy, Maurice Rocco, who was kind of the predecessor to Little Richard. He was a piano player, adorable, sang his ass off, never used a bench, danced while he played piano, just was like crazy out of this world, was world renowned, toured Europe, was played at all the big places, and nobody's ever heard of it. And I just are you looking him up right now, Jimmy?
Yeah, he says it is an American pianist, singer, actor, and composer known for playing boogie-woogie piano and his disdain for using a piano bench. He was a top nightclub and theater draw in the 40s and made several film appearances. He toured the United States, Canada, and Europe before becoming a fixture in Bangkok, Thailand, where he was murdered. That's terrible.
Well, I'm sure if I saw him,
he died at 60.
I might recognize him. But, in our business, the millions of names that come my way, the face looks familiar. Millions of names come my way, and it's difficult to remember everybody. It takes me time. Sometimes an hour later, I'll say to Jimmy, "Oh, I know who that was."
I was just shocked that I'd never heard of him because the 40s, I was born in 51. It wasn't that long before I was,
Hey, listen, back in those days,
you look fabulous.
I know she had work done. She's lying. She had work done. She looks about
so gorgeous.
She looks about 15 years younger than when I saw. She had work done. You don't want to. Don't tell. It's okay. Listen, Lena Horne, great singer, was told by the studio people, when you sing, do not look into the camera, because this movie is going to white neighborhoods. And women will be upset that your beauty and sexuality may arouse their white husbands. So please do not look into the camera. And if you see Lena Horne sing, she looks stupid because she's singing to the ceiling, to the walls, all over the place, but not to the camera. Now, I didn't know this until I became good friends with, oh my God, the Dance Brothers, the famous ones, two black fellas. They danced in all Hollywood films. What's his name? Farad. Farad. Oh, Jesus. What was his first name? A weird name. Anyway, he was a friend of my friend Beryl Davis's, and we talked about it. And he's the one that told me, oh, no, we were not allowed to play to white audiences. We only could. And they used to edit out our parts of the movie. If it was going to Alabama or the South, they would edit out all the black performers because white people would get up and walk out of the theater and tell the owner, I'm never coming back because you have da-da-da playing. It was stupidity. I mean, where it came from, I'll never know.
This is what we're going to try to do with this TV show if it happens. Is it's basically it's a walk down the history. It's through time travel. So it's I like to call it like it's sort of like Doctor Who meets Soul Train. You know, it's like so it's like
I love it.
you
I
go
love
through
that.
history everywhere from the 50s to like all of a sudden you're in.
All right, let me interrupt you again. This is money. We're going to talk money now. You have money? Do you have money for this play?
No,
I-
show.
I-
TV show.
I-
This musical. It's a musical. It's a Broadway
No,
musical.
no, it's not
No, it's a
musical.
TV show.
Oh, a TV
like
show.
a documentary.
Why
more
don't
like.
Why don't
Yeah,
you
we're
bring?
looking for money, sure. You know,
Wait,
because
why
the more money
if-
we
I'm going to give you a name in private. She's a
Okay.
very, very long time dear friend of mine, who's a very famous producer. She will be so interested in hearing about this, and I want you to talk to her. So in private, I will give you her name and number.
I
And
love that.
she's
Give
got
it
money.
to Franny,
She's-
give it to Franny.
She used to own Kyle's drugstores,
Oh,
Keel.
Keel's drugstores. So she's not penniless. Trust me.
Anyway, so that
And I'm sure
so
she will be
so
very
you're working
interested
on
in
it. I
doing
love
this.
the idea though. Soul Train, Doctor Who meets Soul Train. That's a very cool, because that makes it
very
interesting.
loose description, but I mean, it's like we go all over time and we go all over music, and it's just our way to say thank you for all the beauty we've been given. You know, all of the beauty.
Martha, did you ever consider doing it as a Broadway play? Because I could give you another name of a winner. I have so
Tony
many
Award winner.
Tony Award winner who's a very dear friend of mine, and she and her partner would maybe be because I could tell you who it is. She has Memphis. She won the Tony for Memphis. She produced Memphis,
Oh
and
wow!
she would be so interested in this
I
project.
always wanted to do a Broadway show because I love music.
I think it's more Broadway than it is television. Let it go on Broadway and then adapt to television or a film. You're better off. I think what you have is so in right now, so the moment. And I have two names that are really fabulous, very VIP. And I'm not bragging. I don't give a shit about that. They're just VIP friends of mine that I met 100 years ago, and we love each other. And they listen to me. They know I know shit from Shinola. So I think your thing should be definitely a Broadway show and invite me to opening night. I want fifth row center, or I don't go.
Absolutely.
2 tickets.
Well,
Fifth
my career is all taken care of. Oh, I have to, by the way, I have to congratulate you two for becoming superstars since I saw you last.
Yeah, we
What
were
the
pretty.
hell, boys?
We were doing pretty good the last time, but now we're doing really good.
No,
And
Like, you don't know what's happened here. And I'm like, no, I don't, because I'm out with the alpacas. What do I know,
I love the alpacas. I thought you're the only guest we've ever had who was out like with animals while we were interviewing them, and it was
Well,
very,
you
very
have to
cool.
have me back. I think my goat's about to have babies. So
Oh,
if-
You know why? You know why I remembered you out of the thousands we have in years? I remembered you because of the alpacas.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the alpacas, I would have said, Jimmy, which one was she? Because we have 2 guests a week. Times
We're not
the
going
year.
in our 15th year, so
So we've interviewed thousands and thousands of celebrities, stars, and big people. We now have almost 5 million viewers right now looking at you all over the world. And we were voted twice, 2 years in a row, the #1 web show in the world of talk shows. So yes, we are doing well, and I'm bragging because it was 15
And-
years of hard work.
and Fran has been so fabulous. Last week we had Verdine White on,
I know.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
she helped get us Ken Knox. In 2 weeks, we have Ken Knox coming on from chairman of the board, which is Ron and I. Believe it or not, we have a song from when
I
we
want
met.
to tell the story.
Oh, tell the story.
We met, and Jimmy was pushing me to be a relationship with him. And I said, Jimmy, I don't go fast. I go slow. I have to get to know you better and whatever. And Jimmy left my house very sad. So I called him and I said, when you come the next time, I'm going to play a song for you. And whenever you are sad, you hear this song. Give me just a little more time. Our love will surely grow.
Chairman of the board. So that's like our song.
So that's our song, Chairman of the Board, and I can't wait to tell them next week. And
2
sure
weeks,
enough,
in 2
Jimmy,
weeks.
Jimmy gave me time, and we're married now 9 years, so it worked.
Isn't that fun? So you guys, this is Martha Davis. Let's go back to her because we only have a few more
Martha,
minutes.
you're so nice. I
She's
really
so
like you. I want you to
I
come
love
back.
you guys.
I swear though,
You're a friendly lady. You're nice.
you haven't aged. I think
No, she had worked on
No,
Stop Pushing.
younger.
She
Look,
had.
wait, come on. It'll all make perfect sense when she gets
No,
to it.
It's fabulous.
then it's
really gorgeous.
Then your lighting is blowing out years.
I'm so excited.
Something is going on because I swear to God, no bullshit. You don't look more than maybe 37, 38. Not even.
Oh, goodness. Well, makeup is a wonderful thing, my friend.
They're all saying in the
You-
chat room
you
that
look
they loved
great.
Suddenly last summer. So you guys listen up.
You
Not
know
only
what I would like to see? A little auburn put in your hair. I used to be a hair
I've
color.
done a little red. I mean, I just poured a box of brown on it the other day. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I don't
really
like
do.
drab brown doesn't work. If you had a tinge of auburn, it lights up the face. The pink brings the
And
face.
it also brings out the green in the eyes.
Yes, I was a hair colorist.
It's a lot more maintenance, though. And you know what?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. You throw it on your head. You watch TV. You wash it off. It's no big. They have all these wash-in colors now. You don't even have to go to the hairdressers. I used to work in La Jolie Femme in Sutton Place, and I did Barbara Feldon's hair, quite a few celebrities, and all of the dark-haired broads. I'd say to them, you know, the black doesn't photograph well. Let's do black with a little bit of cherry in it. Well, they would come back and say, Ron, I shot a movie and my hair, when the light hit it, the cherry black came out. It was stunning. So I suggest brunettes should have a little bit of auburn in their hair because brunette is mousy and dull. I don't care for it. Anyway, my opinion. My opinion.
I think you
some
look
of the red
fabulous.
was in there when it was red.
You look so good. If you had auburn in your hair, you'd be a piece of ass.
Well,
So you guys listen up.
A Brooklyn
thank God
term.
the Zoom meetings only catch it from here. You know, the rest of it, I don't know where it's gone.
That's hilarious. So you guys, please.
You know, with your face and personality, you'll go far, my dear, in this business. If you look how far you've gone already.
So you guys, you can follow Martha on Instagram. It's Martha Davis Projects. The Twitter is at the Motels. Her new album is called I Have My Standards, which we learned today.
And
She
go
wrote
out
all
and
of
get
them.
it because it's great.
Go out and get it. Also, listen to Mr. Gray. Watch the music video
Yes.
for it.
And listen to Train when you
How
get
long?
the album.
How long's the train been gone? It's like one of the greatest songs like ever. I loved it so much.
Listen to Train, and you'll be so happy you bought the album. If you hate every song on that album, you will love Train, and it'll make buying the album worth it.
Yes, this really is. It's a fabulous. We want to thank Fran for hooking us up with you
Yeah.
again. It's such a great. It's so great to see you.
Martha, good seeing you again.
It's
You
good
look
to see you
wonderful.
guys.
No, you
Anytime you
must
have
be very
anything to
happy.
promote, let us know. We'll bring you back because we love
I
having
love
you.
you both. Stay safe. Please
You
try to
stay
stay
You
safe.
too.
And you
safe
stay
at the same
happy.
time.
Happy is what's making
Oh, and
you
happy
look so
holidays.
beautiful.
Have a great holiday.
And happy holidays. Happy
to you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
And I'm
Thanksgiving.
sorry. I want to say I'm sorry. I watched your Christmas show from before last night. I was just catching up, and I just want. And you guys had the most beautiful trees and all your ornaments from all the years. And I'm sorry it's not going to be your big party this year. But guess what? We'll be back. It'll happen. We'll get the vaccine. We'll all get better.
And
And
we'll
we'll hug each other again.
we will appreciate it more because it's been taken away from us.
Absolutely. Martha, thank you.
So good seeing
Love you
you.
guys.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and all the
Happy
other
Hanukkah
things
to
that
you.
And Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Bye, Martha. See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Come again,
Yay.
sweetie. Bye.
So awesome, you guys. I
She
freaking
is
like
so
love her.
nice. I remembered her from the llamas. Those are animals that she had.
Alpaca.
Alpacas that she was raising.
It was so cool though because she was in the farm and everything.
Right. She's a nice lady with great music.
I hope you guys like that in the chat room. It was a lot of fun.
And if you're a jazz freak, you're going to love her album.
Thomas Claxton has joined us. Also, I want to just tell everybody about the Soho Johnny event again. It's Soho Johnny in conjunction with I Am No Joke. It's the Let Me Help benefit charity concert. Martha Davis is going to be there. All kinds of really, really famous artists.
I was going to be there stripping.
Ron and I are in it.
No, I was going to be there stripping naked And then Soho Johnny said no, because then they will be jumping all over the stage.
No,
trying
Ron,
to grab you.
Ron and I are in it, and so is Sherry Nelson. A lot of people that are friends of ours and friends of people in the chat room. We have Thomas Claxton is a part of it, who's in the chat room right now. Hey, Thomas.
Thomas was going to get naked too.
We have Lori Diamond and Fred Abatelli,
wait,
David Martinez.
Thomas was going to get naked too, but his girlfriend stopped him.
Ian Guerin, Leland Sklar, Ron and I, Sherry Nelson, Sir Patrick Stewart, Kenny Aronoff, who's been on the show, Cedric the Entertainer, Jeff Goldblum, Lemmy in one of his last performances, Scott Page, who's going to be coming in just a second.
Scott Page was going to play the saxophone naked also, but they stopped him too.
John Lodge, 10 years after, Rachel Lauren, Nick Simmons, Andrew Cole. I mean, there's just so many cool people coming on. Rocky Kramer, who's been a guest on the show, will be there. Ian Guerin, who was a guest on the show, will be there. Juliana, who's a guest on the show, will be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You go to iConcert.tv, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night to watch. It's a fundraiser and for anti-bullying, COVID-19 survivors and cancer. And so we'd appreciate
all
anybody
good
to
things
be there.
that the money is needed for. Remember, it's a free show. You pay nothing to see it. So send what you can. And like I said, if a couple of million people watch the show and everybody sends $1, well, that's a few $1 million going to this benefit to help those who need you to help them. So be a good Christian, Jew, Hispanic, or whatever. What do you call? Not Hispanic. What do you call those other people? Hindus, whatever. Whatever you are, whatever your God is, whatever your religion is, remember, your God will reward you. If you give one, you get back two. Remember that.
So also we want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. You can listen to us live every Wednesday on W4CY Radio from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're also on K4 HD Radio in LA, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audio Boom, Podomatic, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, Apple TV, Podbean, Spotify, and Pandora. There's a bunch more, but those are the big ones. You can also see us on Comcast, Vimeo, YouTube, and JSW, Jimmy Star's World Television. Eileen Shapiro just joined us real quick to say hello.
Woo, woo,
hey,
woo,
Eileen.
Woo,
hey,
woo,
Eileen.
Woo,
Yay.
Woo,
And now we're going to bring in our next guest.
You mentioned Eileen Shapiro, and my penis alarm went off. Woo, 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 woo.
She's freaking out now, probably. But anyway, it's going to be fun. So now we're going to bring on our next guest, which is the incredibly talented superstar, Scott Page.
Yeah, he's okay. He's all right.
Hey!
Hi, guys.
Different room. We're seeing a different room of the house.
We don't have that.
I'm actually in my office, my studio office,
Oh,
right?
good,
So
good.
a new space.
So listen, did you take my advice in a few lessons?
I take all the time. I take your advice. Yeah.
Now you can play a few bars of Harlem Nocturne for us.
I don't have it here. I was going to go play it for you.
No, you have to. You know why? The guest before, I told her that when you play Harlem Nocturne for me in private, my body gets goosebumps. And now people in our chat room want to hear a little of it because they said,
don't have it. It's all put away in a box. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding? Well,
next time for Christmas, for our Christmas show.
Can you do it like this? See, I knew you could.
We just had Martha Davis on from the
I know.
Motels.
You know, I got to play with Martha a couple times. I was hoping I was
She's
going to be able to
wonderful.
say
We
hello.
love her.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, I played with her a few times. I was trying to remember exactly where it was. It was a while ago. I mean, obviously it was a while ago, but yeah,
Right.
Martha, she's great.
Before we go any further, send my love to John Wayne.
I shall.
I think of her a lot. I'd love to see her again.
Yes, she loves you too.
Actually, Eileen said
She's
not bad.
She's a beautiful, sweet woman. And every time I see Jamie Curtis, I see you. I'm not allowed to say your wife. I don't know. Your girl, the woman that you sleep with. Anyway, Eileen, she looks just like Jamie Lee Curtis. I swear it. It's like she could play her double in a movie.
So
she's an angel. I love her.
So Eileen is in the chat room, and she said not bad on your mouth playing saxophone.
Yeah, she just wishes that your mouth was playing that somewhere else.
And there's a lot of people in the chat room, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, everybody in the chat room. Nice to be here always with you guys. I'm so happy to see you guys. We were playing live gigs. We'd get to do things. It's been too long this year, right? This is horrible.
I know, it's been terrible. And so you have to do one special favor because your biggest fan on the planet is in the chat room. So say hi to B. Claudia.
Oh, first of all, B is the best. B is the best. Actually, B just did actually built a whole website and stuff for our company, Living. And so I'm very excited about that. She did a great job. And no, B is the real deal.
Are
the
people
real
allowed?
deal, Neil.
Are people allowed to go to that site and see it yet, or no?
I think it's open. I think it's there. We haven't promoted it all yet, but yeah, it's just sort of sitting out there because we're right in the middle of getting ready to do our show, our first version. And now with COVID and LA getting ready to shut down, it looks like we may get shut down too.
I know.
So we might have to push it out a month or two. I don't know.
Here's what we should do for B. We should form a little benefit for B, where we get money to bring her to the United States to visit with us, because
when it opens,
she has done so much for
everybody,
so many of our friends, and she works, endlessly without pay or any kind of reward except our love. So I think we should raise money and fly her into preferably California, because New York is under siege, and they're going to have cannons out soon blowing out people.
Oh, buddy, it's getting rough out there right now.
It's awful. Everybody in New York is terrified. They're all running for cover. They're all going out to Long Island or upstate New York hiding. It's dreadful what's going on.
And B thanks you for mentioning it, because she said she wasn't allowed to mention it. Now that you mentioned it, that it's okay, that everybody knows that she made a website for you guys. So she's all excited.
Right. So tell me now, how are you handling this stupid virus? You're not performing. You're home all the time.
No, for me, it's very interesting because, I'm one of those kind of people, I've been a serial entrepreneur, right? I'm on my fourth business with Think, and now we're getting ready to launch Living.live, which is a whole new experience, kind of verging together the live event with people coming in virtually through these things. We have some secret sauce on that, but I looked at this whole thing, it's really interesting. I mean, it's horrible what's going on out there, but usually anytime these types of things come along, there's always incredible opportunities. And as an entrepreneur, I have to say, this is probably the greatest time to be an entrepreneur that I've ever seen in my entire life. The opportunities, because of how this kind of real shift, it's a complete change of the way we're going to work and behave, and virtuals coming in, we're now on these types of things. Streaming has become a big deal. People are hanging out with their friends, and it's just on FaceTime and things. I'm out watering when somebody's cooking, and we're starting to get used to this sort of new user behavior,
and it's not going away.
No, it's not going to go away, even when it opens up.
It's not going away.
Maybe you're getting used to it, but I'm not.
Oh no!
All my life, I have been a club goer, a party guy.
Yeah.
I've been to everybody's home.
He's hating it.
I am an outgoing guy. I know the world, as you well know. I know celebrities like you, as well as movie stars, and I miss all of it because I'm stuck with Jimmy 24/7. He's a wonderful guy, but only good for maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. Anything more than that, you want to shoot yourself.
14/7, right? 14/7.
I don't know. He's okay. Thank God he's in the office working around the clock. If he was up my ass all day bothering me when I'm working, I would kill him. But he disappears. Now that he's skinny, he shows me his nude body all the time. Look, honey, look how skinny I am. I don't want to tell him he's still fat, but
No, listen to this though. I had a knee replacement a month ago. It was a month ago yesterday, which is the worst thing ever.
It was really a sex change, but he says it's a knee.
It's the worst thing ever. Like even now, I'm in so much pain. Like people are texting me, "You look like you're in a lot of pain," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain still. A month out, but I lost 21 pounds in a month." Because they said I need to lose weight. So there's an upside.
So now he's
the upside of down. That's how I live my life.
I always
look for the upside.
I'm just not super fat.
No, now Jimmy's down to 310.
Yeah, no, that's
not bad. Good job.
I went from 206 to now today I weighed 184.
And I got skinny with him because we ate the same food. I'm under 200 pounds now, which is good. I'm 6'1", so that's pretty big. Meanwhile, let's talk about this boring shit. Let's talk about I
have one thing I want to promote for him, and then we can talk about anything we want.
Talk about it.
Okay, so one thing that Scott does, you guys, and I don't know if a lot of people know about it or don't. They promote it all on Facebook, but on Thursdays, which is tomorrow, is there a show tomorrow?
We're not doing a show tomorrow. We've been doing them every other week.
Oh, so it's every other Thursday, you guys. It's the Rockin' the Rock and Talk Show on Facebook Live from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's Scott Page and who else? Who do you do it with? I know Sheila.
It's great. It's my kind of the think band. Stephen Perkins, you guys know from Jane's Addiction.
We love him.
We love Stevie.
We love Stephen. Norwood Fisher, the great bass player from Fishbone. Kenny Olson from Kid Rock.
Yeah, we love Kenny
too.
Yeah, and David Moss, who is from the Earth, is his company. And we're working with him on building out the Watts Conservatory of Music that we're building. He's a great guy. And then Sheila Conlon, who works with us, and
Sheila.
We've been bringing on great guests and having a great time.
Yeah, I love it. So how do they? And when it goes, how do they go to Facebook Live? Where do they go on Facebook to find it? You
can find it from the Earth. Is the go to From the Earth, or you can go to Rock and Talk Show. There we have a page there, and always my stuff. We all promote it and get it out there. So
I love it. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. We've had some great guests.
So do you miss Eileen Shapiro?
Listen. Eileen Shapiro is my pal. We call her the rock therapist, right? Because it's so funny. I've been introducing her to a bunch of my friends, right? Because I actually FaceTime with Eileen pretty much 7 days a week. We always connect up. She's my pal. I love her to death. She's and it's crazy. It's like, again, all my friends, they're like, Eileen, I can't believe you got all these people hitting them. They said, well, they're all artists, and all us artists are all basket case. So we need our therapist, and she's our therapist.
It's fun. It's funny that you should call her your rock therapist.
Yeah.
Because I call her my boulder friend.
Your boulder friend?
Yeah, because she's got boulders. Once I had a dinner party out in Palm Springs. The sun was so bright. I said, Eileen, can I sit under your boobs so you could shade the table? And she did. She stood there, and the whole table was shady. Well, I have to do boob jokes. Eileen expects it.
Eileen just sent me a text message that because of this event for Soho Johnny, she can't stay, to say hello to Scott and tell Ron to hush. Laugh out loud.
Hush about what?
I don't know.
About the over the shoulder boulder
and too much shit going on, she says. So she's out. So bye, Eileen.
Bye, Eileen.
Oh, now she's becoming a virgin. I love it. They all do that. They suddenly get famous and they become virtuous, clean cut, and wonderful.
No, she didn't.
I have to disown her as a friend now.
I think about you because sometimes I think you reveal secrets you're not supposed to reveal.
I didn't reveal any secrets. What is she?
No secrets.
About? There's nothing to reveal. If there was, I'd be in on it. Eileen tells me every shit she takes. Are you kidding? We're good buddies.
They say goodbye, Eileen. You gotta
She's the best.
She is the best.
She had to get off because she had to go smoke one of those horrible things.
No, she's actually got stuff to do.
No, she goes to smoke that awful thing that hurts her lungs. That gives her cottage cheese lungs. What is that thing called? That smoke
vape.
A vape.
You smoke a vapor too, don't you?
No.
That's good. It's not good for you.
Oh, I guess I saw you smoking pot.
Okay, so we had.
No, I'm only kidding, folks. Only kidding. Just a joke.
Somebody named Susanna Jones joined. Oh, I know who she is. Hey, Susanna, how you doing? Our chat room is full of people. So
don't you feel claustrophobic at times? Don't you just want to scream and run out of the house? I mean, don't you want to go somewhere?
Yeah, no question. It's interesting, but I'm very fortunate. I kind of live up in the woodlands, so my backyard's like a big giant park, like forest, right? So I go out and I sit up on the deck up in the woodlands in the trees up there and get away and meditate a lot. And there's
take
a lot
your dog. You have a pretty dog.
I have Pearl's the greatest. Yep.
Yeah, you have a beautiful dog.
Portuguese water dog and a poodle, a water doodle.
Oh,
yes, I love that. I think
great
that's
dog.
fabulous.
Unbelievable dog.
We have a poodle terrier.
Yep.
Yeah, poodle terrier mix. Astro
who's the best. I love him.
Oh yeah,
the best dog I've ever had.
Thomas Claxton too is in the chat room. He says, "What's up?"
Hey, Tommy.
Thomas. We love Thomas. Yeah, I just played myself and Perkins and a bunch of us. Let me see. I'm trying to think who else is on the record. We just did a song with Thomas, which he's finishing mixing up. It's interesting because now we can make records anywhere in the world, because I sit here, I got my studio all set up. People ship files over, we can play, send them over. It's fascinating how we can work now, and this whole new workflow is getting really cemented into sort of the DNA of the music business now. So it's fascinating. We can make.
You think it's happening more now that with COVID, it's even more so?
Oh, big time. I mean, remember, we artists, we were always, playing the club gigs, doing our stuff, going to sessions, going to studios. Now it's like everything's all about, collaborative workflow, right? We can work together.
But are you making money? No.
That we're working on projects that are making, it's not the same. We're not making any money off of our club gigs or any of that stuff.
No. I mean, you used to have audiences of thousands of people buying tickets at $30 a clip. You made some bucks. Now you're giving it away for free.
Well, yeah. Now we all got clipped this year. I mean, I was so interesting because I remember this was going to be the biggest year for Think. So we were working on, we were going to play Jazz Fest in New Orleans this year. We were working on a whole tour for Europe and Budapest again. And we had this, we were working on putting up this 1,600 seat immersive dome in Long Beach. And then one day it all just came up. I woke up, a cup of coffee and went, wow, all gone.
All gone.
I miss
all
you.
Gone. No revenue. Everything stops. The planet stopped.
We missed all those too.
I missed that club, that tent.
That Think Experience thing was so great.
Dome shows. Yeah, we had a bunch of those ready to go. We were all ready to rock. We had to cancel everything. But I look at it this way. I always go back to this, how, the only thing that's real is us talking right now. Everything else is an illusion. 2 minutes ago, not touchable. You can't do it 2 minutes from now. So I just realized when I woke up and I realized everything was done, I just said, though, even those things that we had projected in the future were really just illusions. They never happened. So I'm still sitting here. I got my glass of water. I'm going to figure out what to do next. We just started reinventing everything.
We have lost human contact, and that's not good. The young kids today live on their cell phones, messaging each other. There's no conversation. People have learned people do not know how to speak anymore.
No.
I've seen some young people, you ask them a question and they want a text message, the answer to me.
Well, my friends, my buddy's got his 2 kids. I go for a ride with him. His 2 kids are in the back seat and they're texting each other. They don't even talk when they're sitting next to each other. Yeah. I just want to bring this up because I think it's important for everybody out there. There's a movie out called Social Dilemma. It's on Netflix. It's really important for everybody out there to see. And especially if you have kids, you need to understand what social media, what's going on. In this movie, it came out and it's really about basically a bunch of guys at work that were the founders of that worked on all the engineering for Twitter and Facebook and all that. And they won't put their kids on social media. And they go through how social media works. And if you're not technical, you don't understand. This is one of the most important movies out there because, listen, we're basically being controlled by the algorithms that we're fed all day long. You're seeing this insane divisiveness between friends and stuff now. And you're kind of going, why is that, right? What is causing that? And you can see that the media is like, because, the algorithms go, hey, I saw what you like. They check every time you like something, every time you scroll, you slow down, you stop at something, they're tracking all that. And then the algorithms say, oh, you like that. I'm going to feed you more of that. Right. And so what happens is we get all of media is being divided off to what you like and what you want to see. Well, it gets really nefarious when you know how to basically take and push your political agendas to one side and to the other and complete this insanity that's going on right now. This is really an important problem that needs to be dealt with. And I think you need to, like I said, it's a really good, it's on Netflix. It just came out maybe about a month or so ago.
Yeah, a month ago.
I'm telling everybody there, please, tonight, go watch this. It's important for everyone to understand that every time they pick up their phone or they go on a social media site or whatever they do, they understand what they are, because in this new world, you're the product. On Facebook,
listen to this. Wait.
Well, let me just make one thing. What we must do, and this is the most imperative of all, is stop the poison that is being transmitted through the media, destroying our country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So hold on, wait a second, because I went last night. Okay, a thing I like to do at night. I go on eBay and just look for cool things that I think would be fun to have, even if I can't afford them. I just like to look. And so I do it every night when he goes to sleep. That's how I relax every night. I collect action figures and all kind of watches and all kinds of things. Right. So I Googled certain kinds of watches on Google that I would like to go, and I went to a website called Craft and Barrel, or I don't know what it was. Okay. Never heard of it ever more. And I was looking at watches on this site this morning when I got up and opened up my Facebook page, that website was in my feed, and there's like no way that website could be in my feed. Like they're like spying on you because
no, this is serious. It's a serious business. We're going through it, and I'm here.
I wasn't on Facebook.
Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say right here on this show, folks. Everybody out there, if you have not really been aware and can free think, get ready. The world is about to see something that we have never seen in our entire lives. We're about to witness something that is going to be so extraordinary and so mind-blowing, and it's going to blow the roof off of all this stuff that's going on like you cannot even believe. So I'm saying, everybody, brace yourself. I said it here. I'm not going to talk about it, but you're about to see something that's going to be so globally, worldwide thing that's going to happen, and it's going to get bumpy, boys and girls. It's going to be.
I go on eBay. Wait, let me finish, because I go on eBay and look at action figures. I
wanted to continue what
I am.
Scott was saying.
But that does the exact same thing, though. I'll look at action figures on eBay that has nothing to do with Facebook, and the next day, only thing that comes up in my feed for all those ads is action figures. Yesterday,
retargeting. That's called retargeting. That's a marketing. That's a marketing thing. People pay for that service. That's, remember, the gold the new gold is data. That's the new gold standard. Data is gold, because that's how they find the people, target, send you stuff, put things in your face. And it's great to say, hey, I want this type of stuff. I don't want to see stuff that I don't care about. But the problem is it divides the message, and it can start to get very funky, especially because, remember, whoever owns the media controls the people.
Yes.
And there's no way around that. And when you're talking about this thing where we're like this all day long, I mean, it's going to change. It's changing society in a big way. But I'm telling you, folks, get ready. Hold on. In the next 30 to 45 days, the world is about to go through something they've never imagined before.
Okay.
I agree.
As long as what you're saying preserves our right for freedom of speech and freedom of thought and freedom of choice, I'm with it.
Dude,
but if we are going into a America of where I am not allowed to say who I am, and what I believe, then I would like to live in Italy, possibly, where we're from originally, because America will no longer be my America. America was built on freedom, on choice, and on democracy. Once you take away what we stand for, we are no longer America. We become a third world country. And you know what's happened to third world countries. They all want to be Americans. So obviously the world copies us in fashion, clothing, movies. We must be doing something right for the world to admire us, yet they hate us because of things that have been said about our president to make him look like a fool and make us Americans look like fools also. We are a good people. We are a strong people. We are an intelligent people. And who represents us is not necessarily who we are. So do not condemn us because of the government. Our government has been corrupt for many, many, many years. Everybody, I don't give a shit. Everybody loved John Kennedy. They loved John Kennedy, but they overlooked the fact that he was banging Marilyn Monroe and had her murdered. Okay, that's what we had for a president.
I don't want to see any of the ads, though. When I'm on social media, I'm not interested in seeing ads. I just want to do whatever I'm doing. It didn't used to be that you see all of that stuff. Now it's it's terrible.
Remember, you're being completely. There's two things that are going on right now. One is we're self-censoring, right? People aren't talking anymore because the poundings on the websites, when you say something, it's all this viciousness. So we're now self-censoring ourselves, right? We're doing that. And the second thing we're doing is we're basically self-surveillancing ourselves by putting in those ring systems and all those networks. We're putting cameras up everywhere ourselves from a form of protection. But then you start saying, remember, everything's hackable. Right. So now who gets control of those networks and who knows? So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now.
I get hacked a lot.
Wait a minute. We were warned about this years ago.
Of course.
Big Brother is looking. If you remember the book, we all had to read it in school. What's happening now is years and years ago, when we had elections, I never knew who was a Democrat or who was a Republican, and I couldn't have cared less. Today, I have many, many, many Republican friends who I love, and I will never dislike them because they're Republicans, because I'm not stupid. Okay?
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for these Republican people because they're afraid to come out and say they're Republican, because their homes will be smashed, they'll be beaten up, or their business will be lost, or whatever dealings they're doing, they will lose because of the fact that they're Republicans. This to me is communism. Communism dictates. And when America starts to dictate that the Republicans are bad and the Democrats are good, that's not fair. Because the Republicans are bad, the Democrats are bad, the Republicans are good, the Democrats are good. It's how you see it. But don't be stupid and say, oh, that one's a Republican, I'm never speaking to him again. You're hurting people. As I said, dear friends of mine are Democrats. I don't dislike them because they're Democrats. I don't care what they say. They talk about Trump all the time, that he should drop dead, he should do this, he should do that. I don't care. I don't care, because that's not what my friendship is built on. My friendship is built on who they are and what they do for me as friends. So they believe in killing Trump. Okay, so the Republicans think he should be a god. He should be an idol. Everybody's entitled.
Exactly.
This is my point.
Jimmy.
Yes.
We got to watch what we say about that so we don't get kicked off the air.
Why? They're going to throw us off because
You
we
can't.
say
It's illegal to say anything about death and political figures.
You can't. Okay, thank you.
Well, then
we're done.
just delete it.
We won't say it. Thank you.
Communism. Big Brother's watching.
Anyway, either way, it doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican. Everybody should be able to like talk and be who they are.
Can you believe that our sound engineer had to come in with that?
Yes.
This is a talk show. If I can't talk about what I want to talk about, then it's no longer a talk show. Then it became a mess.
You know that already, so.
No, I didn't say anything bad. I'm just saying what people have said to me. I am repeating, in my opinion. It is not a fact. No, shut the fuck up, Jimmy. I'm furious.
I know,
it is not a fact. It is not a fact. I am not God. I did not say what it is. I am saying this is my opinion. I have a right to voice my opinion as a natural-born American citizen.
But you don't. If you notice at Facebook, if you say things, it gets taken off.
You know, the other thing, censorship is coming on now. That's where it gets
it's already got it.
Censorship.
It's here. It's not coming.
Censorship is communism. And if you out there want a communist country, contact people who live in a communist country. My good friend Sue Wong came from a communist country. Go on Facebook and contact Sue Wong and say, how was it when you and your mother were being tortured in the communist China? Go talk to people all over the world who live in a communist world. It's a horrible place. That's why they all flee and they come to America, because America offers freedom. And once we lose our freedom, we are no longer America, period. No more said. Fuck all of you.
All right, good. Let's change the subject.
I really think this
You're right.
This is appalling. I would walk off the set right now if it wasn't my show. But I find it appalling that we are not permitted to say what we have as an opinion. Yeah. I don't state fact, by the way. This is not written anywhere. This is in my brain. This is my opinion. And they can't kick us off the air if I voice my opinion.
Yes, but they can.
No, they can't. Not when it's my opinion. I'll sue them.
Anyway, I think
times.
we're going to wild times. There's a lot of big things coming up, and that's the first time we've ever had a political conversation on this show in 14 years.
And I was there.
Yes, and you were part of it, Scott.
No, only because I know what Scott's talking about and I know what's coming. A very good friend of mine, a big shot, has a very dear friend, and she grew up with Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. She knows him well. They hang out and they see each other. And she said to my friend, wait until Donald Trump opens his mouth. The world is going to shake.
So we'll see.
So we'll see what Donald Trump has to say. That's
what's going to happen here, aren't we?
What's world shattering?
All right, so
it's going to be very interesting.
It is going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens, and whatever you believe, everybody, we all need to get along, no matter what. That's the most important thing.
Stop this insanity with, oh, that's a Republican or that's a Democrat. I can't be their friend. That is nonsense. That person was your friend for how many years? Did things for you? Possibly helped you with your mother when she was
came to your house for Thanksgiving.
Gave you loaned you money when you were broke. Loaned you your car. These are what friends do. And then suddenly, because a friend is a Republican, you don't want to be, or a Democrat, you don't want to be friends with them. This is what I'm saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Love people for who they are.
Absolutely.
Not for what they think about a friggin' election. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, it's us
bullshit
against them,
anyway.
right? We've got to, all of us, you, me, all of us, we need to get together, right? And be in unity and figure out. It's just the problem is you're seeing the networks and stuff, they're changing. People can't free think anymore. It's changing free thinking.
No,
right?
because I heard a rumor, again, my opinion, only a rumor, so networks don't have a shit fit.
Don't say anything about killing anything.
No, that Oprah Winfrey bought
Fox
News, and that now they are not allowed to talk good about Trump any longer on Fox News. So the other rumor
That's
is
why the ratings are going down.
I heard that Trump has now started a new network of his own where nobody can interrupt or get him off the air. Now, when America starts to stop people from having a political platform when they are politicians, that's not a good thing. That's a very bad thing. We've got to stop that. An election should be honest. It should not be fraudulent. It should not be where machines are twisted or voted ballots came from somebody who died in 1890. That's all. That's all. That's all. Well, it's true. I read that.
I know. I read that.
That's horrible stuff. In my 80 years of life, which I remember 70 of it, I have, well, because I was up until 10 years old, I know who a president was. My president, I was born with Franklin Roosevelt, and I was 10 with Eisenhower. So look at all the presidents I've gone through. Never in the history of my life have I ever seen, heard, suspected, or thought that anything like today would happen in my country. Never.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother.
Never.
I'm totally with you.
Never.
Well, let's put it this way.
Politics.
Yeah, no politics.
You know what? We're a stupid show. We always talk about big tits and silly shit. Now we're intelligent. Now there are intelligent people, Jimmy, who do watch our show. Everybody's not just jerking off over big tits that come on our show.
That's true.
Like Dave Hughes in England.
He's gone already.
Every time one of our sexy girls comes on, he has a nervous breakdown. He gets hot. It's crazy. The crazy old man in England. Yeah. He loves all the sexy broads that come on our show. You know, it can't always be a stupid show talking about stupidity. And I am an intelligent man. I hide it well by being stupid on the show because people enjoy my stupidity.
Well, you know what I like? I have to say, I have to give a shout out to you, Ron. One of the things that I love, and why I think we became friends, you were probably one of the most honest people I've ever seen when it comes to having a conversation. You don't hide anything. You tell it just how you see it. And for that was like, I was so impressed when I first met you.
Because if you're a shitheel, I don't talk to you. I walk away. If you're a good person, I tell you you're a good person. My mind tells me what to say. Most people, their minds today are disturbed because they were told not to say anything nice about certain people. So they turn around and they join the gang, the clique. The people. I'm going to be a party to all of my friends. I'm not going to say I like so-and-so when they all hate so-and-so. And that's what it's all about. You have to go by what you feel, by your gut feeling and what your brain tells you. And then you will be successful like I am. I have had a very successful career all of my life. I live well. I've got a wonderful man who's 310 pounds.
Says he's 185 now.
I have 3 lovely dogs and 2 beautiful women and friends like Scott, daughters and
not women
and friends like Scott Page and my sweetheart Eileen Shapiro, who I love and adore.
Everybody likes her.
Like she's my sister. I feel like she's my sister.
Yep.
And next time I do drag, I'm going to borrow her bra.
and we have a chat room full of fabulous people who tune in every week that we so appreciate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Life is good. Even though our country is in dilemma, we're still the best out there. I mean, I have cousins in Italy who we've been in contact, and they say, Ron, we understand what you're saying about America, but it's no better in Italy. We have still mafia control over the government, and we have dictatorship here, and they're not happy with it. And people in France, I have friends in Paris, they're not happy with their guy, a woman, whoever it is there. I mean, most of Europe, most of the world is unhappy with the leaders. But you must remember one thing. The leaders are humans. They're people. And they're full of faults. They pee, they shit, and they fart just like you do. They're not gods. And they're full of faults.
Not like me. No, I don't.
You don't do any of
those things. None of those. No.
They want to know in the chat room if you miss the fans as much as they miss you, Scott. Everybody says they miss seeing you.
And you know what? Wait, you know what your wife said about you? At night, you float up to the ceiling, and wings come out, and a halo over your head, and suddenly there's harp music.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what Wayne told me.
From the parts. But the fans miss you.
No question, missing. I mean, there's really nothing like getting out and playing and being with the people. I mean, that's no question. That's probably the toughest thing of this whole thing. Because before all this, I would try to play at least 3 nights a week. So I'd be in the clubs playing, we do the gigs, and it was just always so much fun, and all the friends and people that came around, all that social. I'm like you, Ron. I'm a social person. I like being around people and hanging out. So yeah, this is definitely a different thing. And I can tell you, we all miss it, all the musicians and players, because, I practice and stuff, but I'm playing with basically a recording or something. It's just not the same as slamming with the guys, playing some tunes and, all that. It's really
with a live audience, audience
so
too.
Scotty, tell me, what are you playing at Soho's show?
We didn't really play on the show. We did just all of us on Think. We did a little video thing that we put together.
You didn't blow.
No, I didn't play. We didn't play anything on this one. No, we were we were talking heads, so to speak.
Oh, I would
talk show.
Oh, now I'm not.
It's hilarious.
Now I'm not going to watch.
I watched it. It was hilarious.
Now I'm not going to watch the show because
it's really the making of our. It was the making of our little thing we were trying to put together. It's pretty funny.
Actually, somebody in the chat room wants to know if you prefer dive bars or big arenas.
Well, hey, that's actually a very interesting question. People always say to me, they say, wow, it must be just unbelievable getting out on that stage and there's 100,000 people or 90,000 or whatever the stadium is. And, it's interesting, the first few times you go do that, it is very interesting and it's cool. But, usually when we're on those big stages, the band's spread out. And when you look out, you can only really see the first few rows of people's faces. And then it just sort of blends into a big like carpet, right? So truthfully, there's nothing like playing in a smaller club. It's funny, when we did out with Pink Floyd, we had our band, the Pink Floyd band, we called ourselves the Fishermans. And after we would play a big stadium, the promoter would set it up and we'd go to a club and nobody knew we were coming, right?
Right.
They just set it up for us and they'd have the gear there and we go in and play. We wouldn't play any Pink Floyd songs. We would play, all rock standards and blues and all that kind of stuff. But those were the most fun because when you're 2-3 feet away from somebody and there's, some beautiful girl in the front row and you're honking her with the saxophone, there's just that interaction that you get. So for me, it's cool to be out in front of the big audiences, but really the most fun I've ever had playing is when we're a lot of people jammed in a small space and we're all kind of interacting and you can
I agree with you. When I used to do stand up in the clubs, sometimes they'd book a show in a 350, 400 person dining room, where people were eating. You ever hear 400 people banging, clanging? I mean, forget it. I loved jamming like you did. I mean, sometimes I used to go upstairs to downstairs, or all the great clubs in the village back in the 60s, still in costume from my show. And I'd sit on the piano and we'd sing songs and we'd do jokes. And it was my best audience and the best time of my life. I loved it.
Yeah, we were playing this great little club called the Killer Yacht Club. Actually, it was one of the rooms in this Killer Shrimp restaurant, and it was one of the best sounding rooms. I mean, it only held like 100 people, but that place would be slamming. That was the most fun. The band sounded great because what happens is those smaller gigs, they force you into being closer together as a musicians. In that feeling, that energy. I mean, there's nothing like it. You basically everybody gets on the same wavelength. It's really, for me, it's like feel like you get closer to God, right? Because you get to connect with the source.
Well, you also see people's eyes focused on you, and when you hit the button and the joke works, you see the laughter, and that's the reward for the work. There was a place in the village years ago, if I'm not mistaken, called the Purple Onion, if I'm correct on the note. This is going way back. I think you weren't even born yet. When we were not hippies, we were beatniks. And it was a beatnik coffee house. Mm-hmm. Of course, everybody smoked pot. So that was just the excuse, was the coffee house. You went in and everybody be smoking joints. And people would get up and do odes. In those days, it was a poem called an ode. Like one guy got up and he did
like a
an ode to an ashtray. You know, it was crazy shit. And then, of course, singers would go up there and guitarists and sax players. And it was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, the best variety show. Yep. And it was wonderful. I was so young that I glued a fake beard to my chin. I wore a beret and a black T-shirt and had a cigarette holder with a joint in it, right? And I thought I was so cool. What was I, 16, making believe I was 18 to get into the club? But those were the days of innocence and wonderment, and that's how I learned my craft, and that's why I'm not afraid to speak to people, and nor are you afraid to play music to people. We learned the early ways.
So there's something too when the band is really rocking. Let's say where what happens when we're playing. You can just play. If your head is someplace else, it's different. You're playing, you're going through it. But when you're getting these places, and if you got a really good band and the rhythm section is killing, that's why I love to play with Steve Perkins so much, because his time is so good and he just lifts the vibe. When we all get in sync, when musically it gets in sync, you can see the audience get in sync at the same time. And it's like you're part of this entire jam. Like we're all in the same wavelength. We're not thinking about, I got my email, what's going on? We're all just connected at that moment to the groove and the music. And that thing is like a high. It's like a high.
So we got to go, you guys, because we've only got 1 minute, less than a minute left. So we want to say thank you, Scott Page. Thank you, Martha Davis. Thank you, chat room.
Scott, in seeing you,
you look great.
I remember you again, and I miss you. All right,
back at you, buddy.
Wait, Jimmy and I go into LA a lot. We've been in Glendale a lot. We've been all over those parts. Next time we go in, we're going to call you, and you and John Wayne should have lunch with us somewhere, and we can see each other at a distance with a mask.
Please let me know next year.
I mean, we both do live in California.
Yep. Yeah, we do. It's just a little bit of a distance. But yes, please, let's do that.
Yes, let's
Thank you so much, Scott. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
Okay,
chat room, thank you. We want to shout out to
John,
to Goddess and everybody. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget Soho Johnny's event, Tuesday night, iConcert.tv. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. So come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.